Everyone, welcome to Court Farm Chickens. Today we're going to be looking at what breeds of chicken can or cannot fly. Okay, firstly I should have brought a tripod to do this film. Didn't think of that. Anyway, we'll persevere. So we'll start with the most known of chickens, the standard brown hen, the Isa brown, the brown Bowen, all sorts of names for it. It's exactly the same hen. These are what the commercial people use for layers and things, but they're most recognisable of the sort of backyard, farmyard chickens. So everyone knows that chickens are a flightless animal. Now, that is true, I'm not going to argue it, but there are different levels of flightless. So you have flightless like an ostrich or a penguin. They are truly flightless. They're not getting off the ground. Can this girl get off the ground? Well, the answer is yes, she can. And the younger she is, the further she can actually get. As they get older and heavier and bigger, then they can't. They become too heavy to get off the ground. But as growers, which is what they're called at this age, so she's about 16 weeks, 14, 16 weeks old. If she wanted to, she could get about 4 foot into the air. She can't go a long distance, but she can go straight up that 4 foot, and she could probably then travel maybe 10 foot a push. So nothing drastic, nothing major. However, if you're in an urban setting, it is something to bear in mind that if you've only got a 4 foot wall, 4 foot fence, or a smaller garden, there at a young age she could potentially get up and over. We're going to go through a few different birds and what to look out for on if they can and can't sort of fly, because even though they can't fly, they like they mentioned in Toy Story, they fall with style and they will use things. So if you've got a 3 foot coop next to a 6 foot fence, what you've actually got is 3 foot twice, and the bird can easily get up 3 foot onto the top of the coop and then get up 3 foot and over your fence. Therefore the bird's got over a 6 foot fence. So Isa brown, and most sort of hens are this build sort of shape. Anything you want for egg laying is going to be the same as this regardless of colour. We've got a few we'll go through, but anything that is classed as a standard hybrid hen or a standard purebred hen is as it gets older not really going to be able to fly and of no concern. Okay, I found a bit of wood to prop my phone up so I can film this properly, so this will be a lot easier now. So first one, again, is the same sort of build and shape as your standard sort of Isa, let's move this over here, Isa brown hen, but I'll be able to show you in greater detail on what to look out for compared to a bird that can fly. So this here is your road rock, so we call it black star, and again lots of different names for this bird, but we call them a road rock. Now these are also used for commercial egg layers. They're an absolutely stunning bird, but they're the same build and shape as the Isa brown and light Sussex, all that kind of thing. So you'll notice the tail, it curves downwards, droops downwards. Now it may go up like this. She's doing it deliberately in a moment because I've got her, but it may go up a little bit like that, but in general it's a downward facing tail and it's short. So if your hen has a downward tail and short feathers like that, then it's going to be of the standard sort of chicken lineage, so it's going to be the same as all the others. So it can flap a little bit, it can get up if it has the ability to climb, or the opportunity to climb, should I say, but it's not going to be able to get up and fly off. Okay, so whatever breed of birds, look for that. Okay, and I'll show you a comparison to a different type. Okay, so here we have the Leghorn Basson. So this is a hybrid of the very popular Leghorn breed. It's basically the same as Leghorn, but it's smaller. It's been miniaturized a little bit, as the true breed Leghorns are quite large. So these fit in better with like the English coop, the sort of British sized gardens, that kind of thing. So what makes these different from the other hens is, you'll notice the tail. So the tail is a lot longer, and the bird actually has muscular control over this tail. The birds with a shorter tail, they can move it a bit, but they've not really got a lot of control. These birds can move it up, they can move it down, and they can angle it. And why can they do that? Well, because that's a flight control. Can these birds fly? No. But for a chicken, yes. And if you're not prepared for it, it can take you by surprise. So these, but I mean, we've used these Harris fence panels here. These are the standard panels that you see all around building sites and things. They're standard 6 foot tall. No problem for her. From the ground, she can get up onto that using this sail. Now they use it for stability. I mean, they've also got, they're a smaller bird, they're a lighter bird. I mean, flight feathers and things do come into account, but all chickens have flight feathers. It is more to do with this tail than being able to move it and angle it and get that lift off the ground, combined with the small stature of the bird, allows them to do it. So, all right, yeah. So, if you're going to have a bird like this, you have to be prepared that they can fly. So you would think, well, you just don't have a bird like this, then you get the standard hens. Now, the reason people have these birds is not because of the white colour. You can get amber lynx, they're white. You can get light Sussex, they're white. These birds lay a white egg, and people want the white eggs. So if you've got a bird that lays white eggs, it is likely to have come from the Leghorn lineage, and therefore it will look like this, and it will be able to fly. So how do you overcome this? 2 ways. Put a roof on, job done. However, some people can't do that. They haven't got the space for such a large area to be roofed, or they don't like that. They want the birds to be more free range. That's fine. So in which case you will need to clip the wing. We don't recommend wing clipping because it stops the bird being able to get away from predators and things. However, a bird like this, for its own safety and your peace of mind, it's probably better to clip the wing. Then you know when you get home from work it's still in your garden and not annoying your next door neighbours. So clip the wing. I'll put a link now at the top and in the description below on our video on how to clip a bird's wing. It is harder on white birds, but I'll cover it in that other video. So that's what you're looking out for, the difference. So I'll grab another one now, which you can see. So you've got long tail that the bird can move around with a smaller sort of pointed shape to the bird. That means it can fly for a chicken. Okay, so we'll show you another one. So just for a direct comparison, so this is another very popular breed. This is a Bluebell hen. Now, see, it's got a similar shaped tail, but it's short, and she hasn't got as much control over that. Okay, and as this is also a young bird, as they grow, this becomes more buffy and less noticeable that it's like this. Whereas the Leghorns, it just goes straight up and longer as they grow. This is a Bluebell, so this is a juvenile. This is a big bird when it's full grown. It will probably grow to this size again at full grown. They're so big and heavy, they are not getting off the ground ever. They'll be about a size bigger than your standard sort of Isa Browns, that kind of thing. Same shape, but mammoths. So a bird like this, like Buff Orpingtons, that kind of bird that's sort of this size, they're never going to fly. So birds like that, no need to worry about those. Okay, now we're moving on to the fancier chickens. And the fancier you get in chickens, the more, I was going to say problems, it's not problems, but the more things you're going to have to think of and deal with. So these are a pretty bird. They've got a head crest, which is a bit different, so people like that in the flock. These are emeralds. They lay a green egg, which again people want. They want variety in their eggs. But the tail, turn you around this way. There we go, girl. So you can see that. See, she's fanning that out. She's got the muscular control to be able to do that. She's waggling it side to side. She can fly, so she will be able to get over that fence. Again, same sort of thing. So this will have Leghorn or something similar to a Leghorn DNA in her. So again, that long tail. So if you're at a poultry auction or a show or for something like that, and you're looking at a bird and you think, oh, that's a fancy looking bird, if it looks like a dove, it's going to fly like a dove. Yeah, so that is what you're looking for. If you see that, it can fly. So let's see if she will. No, she's just going to walk off like a normal chicken. But right, we'll move on to sort of the other sort of fancier ones that are common sort of shapes and things to show you. Because again, with the smaller the bird, the more chance you've got of flying. Like I said at the beginning, even the standard hens, when they're young, because they're small, they can fly. And this is especially so in bantam breeds. If it's a small sort of shaped bantam, like a Belgian de Clay, a Dutch bantam, something like that, then that will fly very well. What we have here is a Pilkie, who's very cross. But this is a Pilkie. So this has got Peking and Silky DNA in her, but she's got the Pilkie, she's a Pilkie, the Peking feathering, which is the important bit I wanted to show you. So if you've got a bantam breed that is more likely to fly, again, look at the tail. If they've got a big buffy pom-pom tail, this is all tail. This bird is half the size she thinks she is, because it's all tail and fluff. There's no flight ability with feathering like that. So bantam breeds, smaller, technically are light enough to be able to fly, but with a tail like that, it's not going to be able to fly. Go on, off you go, because you're already annoyed at me. Yeah, they just dropped to the floor. The other one went up, she went down. Last one, just because again they're very popular. So this is a Silky. Watch our other video on the sort of Silky breeds. So this is a very different style of chicken. Now this is a tiny one. Come down. So she's flapping away there. But because of the size, any other bird this size that was getting to fully grown, like she is, would be able to fly quite well. But the unique thing about Silkies being in the name, they do have feathers. They do have feathers. It looks like hair. So they're a furry chicken. Now the wing, it's got feathers, but look at the state of them. That's not because she's ill-treated or tattered or beaten up. It's how the feathers grow. They're like that. They don't hold their shape or anything. Tail, it's like a rabbit's tail. She's not flying anywhere, even though she's of small stature, should we say. She won't even jump off my finger. We're too high up. 2 foot off the floor, it's too high, too scary. Have to go down. There we go, she's gone. So you're looking for a combination of feathering, size, and that all important tail. So if you really do not want your chicken getting out over fences, look for breeds that don't have that long upward tail. If you do want them and still want to contain them, then wing clipping is your only option, apart from putting an all enclosed aviary type thing in, which can work if you wanted those kind of breeds, because then you can put like branches and things in, make more of like a natural sort of forest environment. That looks quite pretty, but then you're stepping away a little bit from sort of backyard farmyard chicken keeping, and you're going into sort of fancy specialty pets and things. But they will live with like doves and things, but we're going off topic. So that's what you need to look for. I hope this has been helpful in Court Farm Chickens. We'll see you on the next one.